The Great is yet another Hulu show that knocks it out of the park and is perhaps one of the most interesting new shows on TV right now. Being a genre-bending comedy set in the 18th century Russia that basically throws away real-life history in favor of a more comedic and, let's face it, interesting one. The show is buoyed by a strong cast, and today we're going to take a look at the cast's real age and life partners behind the scenes. Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning is the star of the show and plays Catherine. At only 23 years old, she commands the screen in a way that many actors can't at twice her age do. She has been acting for quite some time, and the J.J. Abrams Super 8 film, which came out back in 2011, is credited by many to be her breakout role. She is yet another successful actress who began as a child actor, but says that her strong family relationship, particularly with her sister, is a big reason why she didn't have to worry about falling into many of the traps that so many child actors suffer from before burning out. It seems like the future is very, very bright for Miss Fanning. Nicholas Hoult. Yet another former child star, Nicholas Hoult, plays Peter on The Great, and, pardon my pun, does a great job with the role. Nicholas was discovered by an acting coach at the very young age of 3, and ever since has followed his dream of acting with surgical precision. If you think you recognize him, but just can't put a finger on it, you may be a Mad Max fan, as he played Nux, a major player in the movie, but also one that looked completely different than how he appears in The Great. Nicholas seems comfortable transforming himself for a role, however, as he also played Beast in the popular X-Men movies as well. Many credit his physicality and ability to emote with just his eyes as one of the reasons he keeps getting cast in such heavy augmentations. But we're happy to see him in the flesh for The Great. When Nicholas isn't acting, he is with his girlfriend, Brianna Hawley, who he has been with since 2017. 1 year later, they welcome their first child into the world, a son. It seems like Nicholas is living his dream life at the moment, and at only 31 years old, too. Phoebe Fox. Phoebe Fox may not have the acting pedigree that Nicholas and Elle have from acting for most of their lives, but she makes up for it with a hunger to be great, and she is in the role of Mariel in the show. Mariel's actor is only 34 years old and was born in London. Phoebe surrounds herself with actors, which makes sense because both of her parents were actors as well. Phoebe even married actor Kyle Soller, and the two reside in London to this day. The couple have no children yet, but who's to say what the future has in store for them? Charity Wakefield. Charity Wakefield plays Georgina Dymov on The Great, and her mix of theater experience as well as television acting has helped her to elevate the comedy of every scene that she's in. At 41 years old, she is the most experienced actor on the list, and has been doing it professionally since 1987, which is interestingly enough the same year that Phoebe Fox was born. Charity has starred in shows like Doctor Who and Mockingbird Lane, while her theater and acting includes hits like Rapunzel, Baby in the Bathwater, and so many more meaty and great roles. Charity even met her husband during a theater production, and so it seems as if stage acting is just in her blood. Charity and partner David Newman are married, but too focused on their acting careers to settle down and have kids yet. Sebastian De Souza. Sebastian De Souza is only 28 years old and probably best known for his role in Medici, Masters of Florence, where he played Sandro Botticelli for 12 episodes across the show's run. On The Great, he portrays Leo Voronsky, a completely different portrayal than the layered and moody Botticelli. Sebastian comes from an acting family, and they have a desire to pass that gift on to the world, it seems. Along with his family, Sebastian helps run a 9 to 16-year-old acting academy out of their family home. With work as well as helping children, Sebastian doesn't feel the need to settle down just yet, and seems to have his fair share of time with kids that he doesn't want to have a child of his own just yet either. Lewis Hynes. At just 20 years old, it would be kind of surprising to see Lewis married or with children just yet, but it seems like Lewis is just too busy to even focus on that kind of stuff. On top of playing Vlad on The Great, Lewis is pretty busy exploring interests outside of acting as well. Mr. Hynes seems to be focusing his time off camera on hosting his own podcast and getting in on that craze. Lewis has had castmates such as Elle Fanning appear on the show before, and so if you want to see what the cast is like off camera, Lewis's podcast is probably the best place to be. Lewis has described The Great as a real eye-opener to the electricity of a well-made show, and so I can't wait to see what else the young actor has planned moving forward. Godley. From our youngest cast member to our oldest, at 57 years years old, Adam Godley has had a heck of an acting career, and his dramatic as well as comedic chops are on full display as the Archbishop on The Great. Much like the rest of the cast, Adam is experienced both on the screen as well as on stage, and actually got his start as an actor that way with a theater group he joined. Adam was married once in 1999 to actor Alex Belcourt, which lasted until 2004. More recently, he's taking it slow with partner John Hartmere. It seems as if Adam has a type because John is also an actor, but self-identifies as a writer, and the two currently live in Los Angeles together. Gwilym Lee. Gwilym Lee just looks like an actor, doesn't he? The actor plays the role of Grigor Dymov on The Great, and is a main cast member on the show. At 37 years old, he's on the older side of things as far as his castmates, but age is only a number, and Gwilym says that he feels inspired by the youth of the actors around him, which is an awesome way to look at things. Gwilym also appeared in Bohemian Rhapsody as Brian May, and has a list of appearances that is crazy long. Gwilym is not only a theater actor as well, but also does voice work for video games, most famously for the popular Japanese video game series Final Fantasy, which makes sense with how dramatic those games can be, and he definitely has the voice for it. Talk about staying busy. This guy really does it all. Sacha Dhawan. Gwilym Lee and Sacha Dhawan are the same age, 37, but it just goes to show you how different people can look at the same age, because I would have guessed so much younger for Sacha. He played Orlov on the show, and much like Lee, has appeared in a number of video games like Mass Effect, Andromeda, and the Telltale Game of Thrones video game. An anomaly among his peers, Sacha has some theater experience, but is much more involved in the television scene in England, and has appeared in countless BBC productions. Sacha has a partner, Anjali Mohindra, but the two are taking things slow, not yet being married, and with no children slated on the horizon. Sacha must be happy with his career development, having moved on from Mass Effect Andromeda, where he basically just did random character voices, showing how far he's come in just 4 to 5 years. Belinda Bromilow. Belinda Bromilow, nice alliteration by the way, plays Aunt Elizabeth on the show, and while most of the cast is British, she is actually from Down Under, meaning Australia, where she studied acting at the prestigious Western Australian Academy of the Performing Arts. Is there some kind of abbreviation for that? Belinda is 46 years old and has been active in the acting scene since all the way back in 2001. Belinda is married to fellow Aussie Tony McNamara, who is a director, playwright, as well as a screenwriter. They have been together since 2005 and have 2 children together. On top of that, Belinda is also a stepmother to Tony's daughter from a previous marriage, and spends most of her free time raising funds for women in families that have been diagnosed with cancer. Similar to her campaign, Belinda was diagnosed with bowel cancer 10 weeks after her son was born, making the charity near and dear to her heart. And that is it for our video today. Leave a comment down below and let us know if any of these entries surprised you, or if you learned anything new about the actors on your favorite anti-historical comedy. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, as it helps us out a ton. And subscribe for more videos like this one posted all the time.